Alright, so this video concludes my countdown to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So now we're on to Ant-Man. So, spoilers, duh, that is your warning. Now I know my first video was me reviewing Ant-Man, and I could have done a better job at reviewing that in that video. I was like a nervous wreck with my first video putting it on YouTube. So here we go. So here's my second review, sort of. Okay, but so yeah, I mean, like I gotta say, like before this movie came out, I was not a fan of Ant-Man. I was like, what kind of name is that? I mean, what makes him so interesting? He can shrink and whatever. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a hero that I would be interested in watching. But when I heard that he's gonna be in the lineup and he's gonna be a part of the Marvel universe, I said, okay, I guess I better give it a shot and hope for the best. And it turned out to be, once again, I mean, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, where a lot of people didn't know who he was. It went from who is Ant-Man to ooh, Ant-Man is the shit. And the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it has that the Mask of Zorro feel to it, like where the original the original Ant-Man, like basically is retired and he passes on the mantle to somebody else. Well, just like in the Mask of Zorro, where the original Zorro that we all know, he's retired, he's not Zorro anymore, and then he passes on the mantle to somebody else. This does feel like basically like a copycat of Iron Man, like because there's a tech, and then the villain wants the tech, and then he's a bald white guy, and he has a tech of his own. He ends up having a tech of his own, and then he's called Yellow Jacket, who's like basically the douchebags of of the bees, and then Darren Cross lives up to being that asshole. He is a dick. He's probably the biggest dick in the Marvel Cinematic Universe when it comes to villains. When it comes to villains, he's probably the douchebag, the bully, the guy that takes your lunch money and makes you drink toilet water. I mean, that's the kind of guy that he is. and one of my favorite parts of the movie is, of course, Scott's friend Lewis, when the way he would tell you a story of how he knew a guy, he met a girl, and this girl, he said, oh yeah, da 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 da. Like, I kind of want him to narrate one of these movies coming up. Maybe in, the next Ant-Man sequel. I would love for him to do that. I mean, come on. It can't really be a standalone Ant-Man movie unless he's doing that. and this movie was, like as silly as the title is, like where there's someone called Ant-Man, and it surprisingly worked. I mean, Marvel is doing it, killing it with these characters, whether they're well known or not so well known, and then they basically can put a not so known character, when they pick them out of the litter, and then they put them together with all the well known, big dogs, pretty much, and it works out for the best. I mean, it just works out beautifully, and this movie is no exception. And I never thought in years where a movie, where they would make an Ant-Man movie and I would end up liking it. Now, if it wasn't in the lineup and like the Avengers, and it was just like a standalone superhero movie like X-Men or Fantastic Four, then I probably would not see it. I'll probably say, I was never a fan of Ant-Man. I never really cared to really get to know him in the comics or whatever. So I'm not gonna see it. So I saw it specifically to stay caught up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it was a breath of fresh air. And I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not, but seeing trailers for it, I said, you know what? Marvel's doing a good job. I'm confident that they will do this movie pretty good. And with a movie called Ant-Man, you gotta have humor in it, because a movie like that with that title cannot take itself too seriously. So you gotta have the humor in it, and they do, and it's beautiful. And when they have the serious scenes in the movie, it works. Like when Hank, where Hope is basically nagging Hank, saying like, I should be wearing a suit. I should wear the suit. Why does Scott have to wear the suit? Why can't I wear the suit? He's basically been, preparing her for a totally different suit, which was basically like, her mother's suit, like where she becomes the new Wasp woman. So that's pretty damn cool. And I mean, like, yeah, I mean, Ant-Man may not be the most badass of the Avengers. Maybe some of you think he is, but he has some, he has some perks. And his best perk we did not see until Captain America: Civil War. Yeah, but he does do some pretty cool things in this movie. But his coolest trick was not seen until Captain America: Civil War, and that's all I'm gonna say. And so yeah, with that all being said, it gets four epic Ant-Man suits out of 5, and yeah, and when it gets to Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket, where they shrink and then they get big and then they shrink again, where they're fighting and they bump into a touchscreen phone and then they're yelling at each other, and then the touchscreen phone says, "Now playing this," and da 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 or whatever. And it's pretty funny. And when they're in Scott's daughter's bedroom, and then like one of her toys turns big, and then it's outside, and and it's funny. I mean, like I said, you gotta have humor in the movie. And then the end credit scene is basically a scene from Captain America: Civil War. And then we see Falcon talking to Captain America, and then that's where it's at that point in the movie where he talks about bringing Ant-Man on board with what's going on. And yeah. I mean, like, even though he did play a small role in Civil War, but I guess he played a huge role, pun intended. I mean, if you've seen Civil War, then you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I cannot wait for the sequel. I never thought I would say that, where I would say I can't wait for the second Ant-Man movie. But yeah, I'm saying it and I'm proud of it. I don't give a shit. So yeah, I guess basically phase 2 is over. I mean, like, this is a very odd choice for the end phase 2 with this movie, but when you really watch it, you really understand why. Even though it would be more logical to end it with the Avengers movie, but they decide to do things a little differently, end it with one more standalone movie, and it worked out for the best. So I would review phase 3, but I already did that with Captain America: Civil War and Doctor Strange. So yeah, if you go on my channel, you'll see it there. You'll see those reviews there. So yeah, if you guys enjoy my review for Marvel's phase 1 and 2 and all of them together, now I'm ready to see not Captain America, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now I'm really ready for it, and keep on the lookout for that. Look at me. I'm ready. You can tell I'm ready. So if you guys enjoyed my review on all of those movies, make sure you thumb up the video, click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Well, in my review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, damn it. So, yeah. And so, okay, I'm out of here. Peace out, y'all.